a todos e muito boa tarde a todos. Peço desculpa, ia dizer bom dia. Estas trocas de fuso horário e novamente obrigada pelo convite. É um gosto estar aqui e estou contente que este ano temos esta possibilidade. Então, se não se importarem, vou começar aqui com a apresentação da YData e vou mudar para inglês. Hi everyone, my name is Fabiana Clemente and I'm co-founder and chief data officer at YData. As a data scientist, I have also tasted the bittersweetness of AI development. The data is not always available, either because collection was not great or because privacy constraints just make the access nearly impossible. As many of you know, things just don't get easier when data finally is available. The truth is, more than half of my time was fully devoted to hard and time-consuming data preparation processes. It might sound like a cliche, I know, but I have to say that in my experience, 80% of data scientists' time is spent on preparing the data. This brings to the topic that I want to cover today, boosting AI solutions under the lights of data-centric AI. How can data preparation improve significantly the results of a model? In the last few years, we have all been pumped by the concept of AI and the many advantages it can bring. From automation to business results optimization, the benefits are expected to be huge. All right, sounds amazing, but there's a hidden cost related with the AI and that many did not predict it, the complexity of development and the technology maturity. Truth to be told, many have been the hurdles. Organizations have been investing in adopting a proper AI stack. Nevertheless, and based on the last report from O'Reilly, 74% of AI projects never reach production. And what is the main reason? Data. More specifically, the lack of its poor quality. The fact is that AI is not yet democratized and easily accessible to everyone or every organization. Which brings us to the one very important and interesting trend. Gartner expects that by 2025, 70% of organizations will be compelled to shift their focus from big data to smart data, meaning, in a very simplistic way, improve data quality. And why? Even Google published a great paper about it. Data is proven to have higher stakes in what relates to the performance and robustness of AI models. Bigger data does not mean better results, but for sure, it means more storage and computational costs. And one question you might be asking yourselves is, what is smart data exactly? Interesting enough, data quality has many faces and dimensions, as probably many of you know. It can be described as the data needs to be available, needs to be accurate, requires the right level of granularity, variety, and variability, are key to ensure generalization and robustness of our insights. And the list goes on, of course. In one paper I've recently read, data quality was described as having more than 70 dimensions. I know, it's so overwhelming, but bear with me. The process of achieving better data quality does not need to be a checkbox process where all the boxes need to be ticked, right? It rather depends on the use case you want to explore and the downstream applications we want to develop. And that's what, in the end, it's most important to retain. Data quality is achievable if you are clear on your business objectives for your application. Nevertheless, there are always dimensions that remain key for every single application. Let me give you a few examples. Completeness and consistency, which stands for the accuracy and reliability of the available data for a certain use case. Timeliness. My data is relevant time-wise, is still outdated, and validity. Is my data valid for the use case I'm exploring? Having this in mind, looks like we are putting more emphasis on the data exploration and processing, as well as adding some iteration on the training data set. Should data be the centerpiece of the solution? I think you already know the answer. Going from model-centric to data-centric will be key to bring AI initiatives to success. Let me put this into more practical terms. An AI system can be oversimplified and described as the combination of code and data. For an AI system to be successful, the right balance between code, or more specifically, a model, and data must be achieved. No one said it better than Andrew Young, where the model-centric approach is described as the conventional paradigm where data is considered to be the fixed variable in this equation, and code is where iteration happens. This all sounds very good when we are working with open data sets from platforms such as Kaggle. Its essence is more or less well balanced, well behaved, which means that to improve the solutions, the focus has to be in the only element that has some freedom to be tweaked and changed, the code. But in reality, the story is completely different. That being said, for AI to go from the hype to production, a little boost is needed. And in the end, that boost is all about data. Data is the true competitive advantage companies have. And we can see how valuable it can be by looking at the most recent acquisitions from, for example, Google or Amazon, the ones that know how to use data properly. And this is why data-centric AI is so important. The reminder of putting more emphasis on the data itself instead of the model. As we like to describe it, the data-centric approach to AI development, considering the training data set as the centerpiece of the solution instead of the model. And YData was born out of our personal experience with these problems. And because we know data quality shouldn't be a bottleneck, but rather a stepping stone in AI development, we have created the very first data-centric development platform for structured data that helps data scientists not only access the data they need, but also solve the entire use case leveraging the state-of-the-art technology. Fabric is our data-centric workbench, and it's split in three major dimensions: data profiling, that allows data teams to quickly understand and assess the quality of their data assets; data improvements, where we offer synthetic data as an unfair business advantage to deal with challenges such as privacy, data set imbalancing, or bias and fairness; and last but not the least, data pipelines and model training at scale to ensure a proper data architecture and scalable machine learning flows. By enabling the teams to better understand the existing data, unlocking and enriching it, AI success is at the distance of a few clicks. And well, I know what you might be thinking. This seems too good to be true. So how does it work? Let me quickly show you our platform and how at YData we can benefit from a more data-centric AI approach. So welcome to YData Fabric. This is our platform. I have brought to you a quick example and a very, very short demo with a credit scoring data set. So this data set is known to have a few challenges, one being one of them, the high class imbalance. So we do have a labeled data set, and this labeled data set does present some issues. Some of the issues we can right away observe at the level of our visualization chapter. But as you can see, and considering this is my label, I can see a very imbalanced kind of behavior. So I do have a few examples of customers that have not paid that credit. So this, for a machine learning model, can present a big challenge. That's why, as a user of YData Fabric, I'll be leveraging, for example, data synthesis to have my data set balanced. For that reason, I have trained the synthesizer, for instance, in my credit scoring data set, and now I'm able to, after the synthesization process, I'm able to generate as many records as I want. Here I've generated 100K records, but I can just generate 20K. This will allow me to have my data set balanced and help to achieve better results. which is what I'm going to show you next. So with the pipelines in Fabric, I can just do several experimentations for the same data set at scale and compare as well as track my changes. For example, comparing the runs, and I'm comparing them in a metric that I know I want to follow. For instance, my metric here, it's related with the models, the F1 score, but I could just add easily a business metric. So how much will I lose if my score is not done properly? And that's exactly what we have here. We have done several experimentations, same pipeline. Some of the pipelines were not balanced, for example, such as this one. As you can see, I have decided not to augment the data. And in this case, in this one, the last one, I have decided to augment the data with synthetic data. And as you can see, the difference in the F1 score, it's huge when compared to the other runs, which means that definitely it was so easy to boost a model just by looking on working on the data itself. And that's all about what it means to be more data-centric AI. So instead of just running through all the parameters and worrying about the model, my concern was let me try to understand my data, let me check my data challenges, and let me work out those challenges in a way that I know I will boost my solution and I have my solution more aligned with my business. I hope you have enjoyed. Um, it was a pleasure for me to be invited to be part of the DSPA conference, and for sure, um, I'll I'll be available if you want to reach out. I'll be happy to answer any questions from the audience. And we are YData, and we are accelerating AI with improved data. Thank you so much.